You are welcome to the Messiah Revelation Ministry. We are a prophetic end-time ministry dedicated to preparing the world for the arrival of the Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus Christ. We have to look at what is happening in the world in light of Bible prophecy. And the book of Revelation states that the events that were shown to Apostle John will happen shortly. And so we need to look at global events in light of the prophecy that we have. We have the prophecy in the book of Revelation. And the world, as we know, is passing away. The prophets have said about it. And the nations will fall, including the big nations in the world, including in the United States. And Babylon is not too big to fall. Babylon is not too strong to fall. We are dedicating this message to reports about nuclear anti-satellite systems in relation to Russia. And the CNN reported the state of military balance of power, and they talk about reports that Russia is contemplating having nuclear anti-satellite system. We are not sure whether they already have it or they are going to deploy it now, but they have done a lot of tests about it. So the question we're asking is, are they taking the war to space? And the powers that be, Russia, America, are they taking the war to space? They have already deployed so many weapons on Earth, and now they are thinking about taking the war to space, and that's why they have their satellite systems. And the issue is a possibility of Russia deploying a nuclear anti-satellite system. And that system, an anti-satellite system that is nuclear, raises the specter of a nuclear EMP. When we're talking about EMP, we're talking about electromagnetic pulse system. And if that EMP system is unleashed, it will destroy electrical systems. And as you are aware, no nation can survive without these electrical capabilities. They will find it very tough to survive. If there's an EMP strike on Babylon, United States, you can calculate the cost, you can calculate the implications. First of all, telecommunication systems will not work. GPS systems are not going to work. Electrical systems are not going to work. And so we're talking about a change in the balance of power as we talk about nuclear anti-satellite system, as U.S. Congress and intelligence officers bemoaning over the specter of a Russian anti-satellite system that has nuclear capabilities. If the CNN is talking about Russia anti-satellite system with nuclear capabilities, we know we are not talking about conspiracy theory. We are talking about things that are happening in the world to the point that the mainstream media is talking about it. But the leaders of Babylon have to be very careful. They have to downplay the news. They have to calm people's nerves. But we are in the world where the powers that be, they are preparing for World War III. And now they are looking at all possible means to gain nuclear superiority. And as we're talking about a possible Russian anti-satellite system that has nuclear capabilities, we are talking about taking the war to space. And what are the implications? Somebody can say that Russia is just developing anti-satellite system. That system will be able to take out satellites developed or deployed by other countries. But some people believe that it can go further than that. A nuclear anti-satellite system deployed by Russia will have the possibility of decapitating the United States. Decapitating the United States means taking the US out, taking the US electrical powers, destroying US satellite system, destroying GPS system, destroying means of communication, and destroying the power grid system. Definitely it will take the US back to the Stone Age. It will set the US economy, it will set the US system back. And so when we're talking about Russia's anti-satellite system that has nuclear capabilities, at this time, we have to know that we are living in the end times. We are living close to the arrival of the Messiah, and all those events, portend to the fact that we are in the last days, and you have to know that we are in the last days. And when the CNN is talking about Russia's nuclear anti-satellite system, we're talking about violation of international law, because treaties were signed that prohibit development of those systems in space. But now we are living in a lawless environment. We are living in the world where laws are not being enforced, including international treaties. And the leaders of the world, they are preparing for World War III. They are preparing for Armageddon, and they are taking the war from the earth and they are taking it to space. When we're talking about Russia's nuclear anti-satellite system, we are talking about the specter that America is no longer too big to fall. Russia has always been a leader in the space technology. You remember that NASA was established, I believe, by the President Kennedy, and that was in response to the Soviet Union's advanced technology in space. And the Americans realized that they were far behind the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union were the original people who went into space and did a lot of things in space, and they outclassed United States. And in response, the U.S. government, I believe President Kennedy, decided to establish NASA and promised to take Americans to space in 10 years' time. So a mandate was given to NASA. So we are talking about Russia and America. We're talking about their relationship, and we are saying that Russia has always been a leader in space technology, in space systems. They had the first experience in space before America tried to do a catch-up, trying to catch up with Russia. And Russia's nuclear capabilities is recognized by the United States. They have more nuclear weapons than the United States, and they have developed Armageddon weapons, whether you are talking about Satan 2, and whether you are talking about Poseidon nuclear drones. Russia is there. And now American is realizing that they are under threat, even though the leaders are downplaying the threat. The threat is the specter of Russia having a nuclear anti-satellite system, and that will be capable not only of destroying American satellite system, but also destroying telecommunication facilities in America, and destroying GPS systems, and also destroying the power grid in the United States. And we are living in perilous times, and we have to be very careful what we hear. The leaders don't tell the truth, and they said that sanctions will be imposed on Russia, and sanctions were imposed, and they were predicting that Russia's economy will be destroyed. And now that's not the truth. BRICS is moving ahead, and they are surpassing the European Union economically, and they have become a force in the international system. Russia's economy is not collapsing as America predicted. They predicted civil war in Russia. There's no civil war in Russia. At the same time, people were even talking about civil war in the United States itself. They were talking about Russia losing the war in Ukraine, but that's not what is happening. Americans have realized that the war is not as they thought it would be. Russia is not losing the war as they predicted. And so whatever they tell you, you have to take it with a pinch of salt. You have to take it with a pinch of salt, because in the last days people will deceive. The leaders will deceive. The media will deceive. They will not tell you what is going on. But at least when the CNN is reporting about Russia's nuclear anti-satellite system, then you and I know that now the war is being taken to space, and it means that we are living in perilous times. They will calm your nerves, but whatever they tell you, you have to know from the stories that they are telling you when they are talking about Russia's nuclear anti-satellite system. And when you know that Russia tested such system, you know that they are taking the war to space. And the bottom line is that a nuclear anti-satellite system obviously will not have any, the other nations will not have any defenses to it at all. They will not have any defense to the nuclear anti-satellite system. It means that Babylon is not too big to fail. Babylon is not too strong to fail. And when you have a nation, and the nation is very prideful, and the nation believes in their own strength, and they think they can survive. They think they cannot be destroyed. They think there's no God. The reality comes in. And so the reality that is coming to us is that Babylon is vulnerable. They are under stress. They are panicking. They are panicking about Russia's nuclear anti-satellite system. There wouldn't be any defense immediately. Power grids and electrical systems are vulnerable. And if they are deployed, if the nuclear anti-satellite systems are deployed by Russia, it means that the United States is vulnerable. It's vulnerable, and the reality is that no nation, including America, is too big to fall politically, economically, and militarily. Whatever the Lord has said about the world will come true. All nations will fall, all empires are falling, and they will fall. And now there's a pathway to the fall of Babylon, and that is a potential anti-satellite system that is nuclear, operated by Russia, that will have the capability of decapitating Babylon, United States. The scriptures are very clear. The book of Revelation are very clear. Revelation 18, and Babylon will be destroyed in 1 hour. It is stated 3 times. Revelation 18, verse 10, verse 17, verse 19, talking about destruction of Babylon. And I believe United States is the Babylon spoken of in the book of Revelation. You need to prepare. We are living in perilous times, as prophesied in the book of Timothy, and the nations are taking the war to space. And we need to be aware that the time for the arrival of the Messiah is now. Nations will rise up against nations. It was prophesied in Matthew 24, and we'll be living in perilous times. They will not tell you what they are doing, but at least when a mainstream media, CNN, openly talks about Russia's nuclear anti-satellite system, and when Americans intelligence officers now openly talk about it, and when they are calling for declassification of information about it, it means that they are panicking. And you should not panic. Those who put their trust in the Messiah, you should not panic, because the Lord will save you. You are not appointed to wrath. As long as you believe in the Messiah, you repent of your sins, and you keep your garment clean without any spot, without any wrinkle. They are taking the war to space. And that means that nuclear EMP strike is possible. A nuclear EMP strike can decapitate Babylon, and that will be the end of Babylon. Thank you for watching this video. Share it. I'm leaving my email in the description box. It's raptureafrica@yahoo.com. They are taking the war to space. They took the war to the seas. Russia has Poseidon nuclear drones, and that can wipe off the coast of America. They have Satan II missiles that can wipe off a territory as large as Texas. And now they are taking the war to space. They are talking about nuclear anti-satellite system, putting nuclear devices in space. America will not have any immediate response. And Babylon, as you are aware, is not too big to fall. Thank you for watching this.